Hey, what's going on, everybody? Well, it is Sunday afternoon. Just hanging out at a rest stop here. I pulled in. Oh, cool hawk. Pulled in to start a second crock pot. Have some coffee. I don't normally buy Dunkin' Donuts. I used to a lot, but, being in the rig, when I am in the rig, I like to make my own coffee. And I just didn't feel like making it today. I said, something, nice rest stop. It's quiet. There's only one other tractor trailer here, a small one. And they have a Dunkin' Donuts, so I went and got a coffee. The past couple days, I had yesterday completely off from work. It was nice to just get away from the house and take the rig out and just kind of really do nothing. But, I did some cooking and stuff like that, but really, in general, I really didn't do anything. It helps clear my head for the week coming up. In multiple weeks. I mean, it's not like I'm going to do this all the time. It's just a matter of, I work a lot, and it gets stressful at times. Spring is coming. I start doing lawn maintenance again. So in addition to the two jobs, I start cutting lawns on the weekends. And a lot of people talk about it like, I do too much. I'm always on the go and this and that, which is true. And then, then I mess around with YouTube here, putting up some videos and talking to you guys and, meeting some awesome people. But it got me wondering, like, you start watching videos on YouTube and you go, wow, I could be traveling all the time. I can hit the road, Why am I working so much? But then I realized, you start watching other channels on YouTube who are struggling, and it's like, these people tried that. They think they can just hit the road and not have a care in the world, and be free, so to speak. And it's as romantic as that sounds, it's really not feasible in the grand scheme of things. I mean, maybe you're used to living on less and minimalists, but there's certain core resources that a person needs. They need to be self-sustaining. They need to have some sort of income to live off of that doesn't require them to be someone else's dependent, I guess, I don't know, it's tough. It's like, okay, yeah, you ask for donations, or maybe you accept donations, but you don't technically ask for them. You only, insinuate or hint that, donations are greatly appreciated. It's not my way of thinking. I'm from the school of, work hard now and then, have the money to do it later. I agree 100% that once you're on the road, I mean, if you're providing a show or whatever it is that you're doing, entertainment, you want to have that, donation button or whatever, whatever. It's just there's a fine line you cross when you start doing that. And sometimes once you cross that line, there's no going back. Now, I've said previously, I was hoping to be living in the RV by now. But I got to tell you, it's March here, and it was 8 degrees last night. 8. Now, while I was toasty warm inside the rig, don't get me wrong, water systems started freezing up. I actually winterized the water heater and pumped some antifreeze through the rig, just so I wouldn't have to worry about it. Now, I knew this would be an issue, so I have a quick drain plug on the water heater. I have a bypass valve, a winterizing kit for the water pump, so all I got to do is drop a hose into the RV antifreeze and turn the pump on, and I just run all the faucets and I'm good. So I can do that back and forth, whenever I need to. It's not that. I couldn't imagine living in this kind of temperature in a rig and having to deal with that. Now, if you're going to follow the sun, where else? How are you going to make money? I mean, it's not feasible for everybody. And a lot of people, like I said, they get caught up in the romance of it. They get caught up in their mind, they think it'll work. They think, without really thinking it through. And if this video does nothing else but just, sit here and have a chat with you guys, if it makes a person think, just one person, that, something, resources that you need food, you need water, you need shelter, you need, some sort of security, something to fall back on maybe. And it could be less. I mean, it could be, you got to be willing to do anything. You want to hit the road. You got to be willing to do anything to make money when the time comes. That's one of the things that I respected Wanderlust Estate for is, I've seen them hold, those furniture going out of business signs on the side of the road, just to make a few bucks. I don't think for the majority of any of us that YouTube can actually be a reliable main source of income. I don't think so. I don't see how I could ever depend on it to the point of, being in the poorhouse if something was to happen to my channel or something like that. I mean, I don't know how some people do it. Maybe they have something to fall back on that, it's just not known to everybody. But that's all. I was just sitting here at this nice rest stop. I don't know if you guys can see out the window or whatever. I'm in like a wooded area here off of Interstate 395. And it's just quiet. I mean, even with the highway right there, it's like beautiful compared to, the urban area that I live in. I enjoy the getting out and sitting here, watching TV in the back, cooking, looking out the window. But could I do this every day? Yeah, I think I could. If I was financially set to where I didn't have to. I don't want to sleep in a Walmart parking lot because I have to. Like last night I stayed at a Walmart. Did I have to stay at a Walmart? No, I could have went to an RV park. I could have been home. That's it. I mean, do you have to stay in a Walmart parking lot for days on end because there's just nothing else? You can't afford to do anything else, or do you do it just to save a few bucks when you're traveling like I do? When we're traveling, I don't, like Nomadic Fanatic, he drives, 50 miles a day or something? I drive, 500 to 800 miles in a day. When Easy. I pull into a Walmart at 8 o'clock at night, it is to eat, maybe shower, relax, watch TV, and sleep. The next morning, we do it all over again. Now other people, they stay at Walmarts because they absolutely have to, and I'm seeing more and more of that. I see it on YouTube too, guys. I see it with a lot of people on YouTube that get the bug to say, I'm going to get a van or I'm going to get an RV and I'm going to travel. And they learn really quickly that it's easier said than done. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, and everybody's different. I mean, every car that you see drive by here, there's a different mentality, there's a different way of thinking in pretty much every single one of those cars. And that's what makes us an individual. And you kind of have to live with the consequences. I mean, it is nobody else's fault but your own on how you live your life and what becomes of it. That's how I see it, guys. I don't know. I get online, and sometimes it's tough because I see people struggling, and you having a good heart, you want to help, but after you watch bad decision after bad decision and money get wasted and this and that and the other thing, you realize real quick that, some lessons, have to be learned. Sometimes it's kind of like tough love. It doesn't mean I don't like that channel or that person. And I'll give honest advice. But some people need to look at other people. Those people that are struggling, they got a van. They need to look at other people and say, okay, now what am I doing wrong? Why am I forced to sleep in a Walmart parking lot? And other people are not. What are they doing? They're working. They've saved for their trip, or whatever the case may be. You see people break down. I don't have money for a transmission, whatever the case may be. I understand the whole vlogging aspect of wanting to share your experiences, but it's like I said, once you cross the line of asking for donations and things like that, every time you run into a problem, every time you make a video about a problem you're having, you're going to spark this wave of accusations of, you know, you're just fishing for donations. Once you cross that line, it's tough to go back. You know, be responsible for yourself. Get out there, go after it. Live within your means. If you're, you know, you have a minimalist income, you got a minimalist life, you know, and you're happy, all the power to you, because that's key. That's key, guys and gals. That's all, guys. So just keep in mind when you're watching videos, it happens to me too. I look all the time. I watch video after video after video, and it gives me this itch to want to hit the road. But then I say to myself, well, if I quit my second job and this and that, and then I realize that then I would be kind of veering away from my core goals of, you know, being able to enjoy without worry. I can only offer what, you know, runs through my mind, so to speak. But tell me what you think down below. All right, guys. Well, that's it for this video. I've rambled on enough. This was one of my long talking videos. I know that. But you can always fast forward to it. All right, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Take care. All right. Well, time to hit the road. Get back on this highway. Seems like my serpentine belt, I think that's what it is, making a little bit of noise, a little squeak.